Veganuary vegan? Hi there guys, Koji here at ComplEat.com. This is the Veganuary podcast and this is our new background. We worked a lot on this, hope you like it. So leave a thumb up if you like it. And today's episode we're going to talk about being vegan in Brighton, or a place like Brighton where it's very easy to get veganized meals or something, or easy to be vegan, where there's a lot of replacement products, plant-based products are available, or somewhere where there are not enough of these and you have to cook your own dishes, so it's a bit more challenging. So we live in Brighton, which is like a safe haven of the vegan movement, because so much people here. It's plant-based and really, I don't know how it is, like a little bubble of England here, where it's everything is very progressed,
it's very
hippie,
green,
kind of,
Not only vegan people, but like people who like to be like a bit more minimalist, maybe, or more I don't know, less fashionista, more artsy, sort of,
kind of like I guess like San Francisco in America, or Amsterdam, something like really open-minded, or people looking for alternatives, not being normal, being a little bit out of the box or something.
A bit of an out of the box sort of vibe,
So, which is pretty cool, because you see a lot of type of people, you meet a lot of different ideas. What you like, the place where I came from, Hungary, is everything meat. Like, I would never think I would be vegan in my life. Like, you just eat meat with everything, and I don't even know if I know everyone who is like even vegetarian, not even vegan. So I never even saw this kind of movements like vegan or even minimalism, or just these ideas what I would never meet if I don't come here to Brighton. And so being a place like this, obviously this makes it easier to transition. Just the pure knowledge of this, meeting with these people or these ideas, it just opens your mind, so you can learn more about things. You can see it make it easier, and it makes it possible as well. It's not just the ideas, but it make it possible, because every shop is like, people want these stuff, so shops require more of plant-based, eco-friendly products, and there's a big movement here, not just being vegan, but like zero waste, or so like shops are supporting packageless shopping. So you have to take your own packages, you fill it up, you take it home, and when it's empty you go back, so you don't do plastic bags, etc. So being vegan in a place like this is very easy, I would say. Like, anyone can be vegan here. It's very super easy to transition. So if you just want to be like someone who eating meat, next day you can have the same dishes what you had yesterday, just a vegan version, because every restaurant has a vegan option, and you would never tell the difference between a vegan pizza and a non-vegan pizza.
Mainly if you go to the restaurants who specialize on vegan alternatives, because if you go to a normal restaurant in here, everyone is going to have at least 1, 2, maybe more vegan options. But if you go to the specifically vegan ones, oh my god, it's like high level. You are going to eat really nice food, and I've done this with a lot of friends and colleagues who are not vegan, and they're perfectly fine eating in those places, because it's really good.
So it's places like this very easy to be vegan, but I hear a lot of people who are not living in Brighton or somewhere else on the world, and there are no options. There are no options there. So and I say with myself as well, if I'm traveling, it's much harder if you go to a country like that whose veganism is not as progressed and in here, then it's obviously much harder, especially if you are someone who eats a lot of out in restaurants and doesn't cook much, so doesn't know how to cook these dishes for himself. Then obviously it's going to be really tricky then to find those restaurants. Maybe have 1 or 2 in town and you have to go there, but you're not there. And then what you can get it in shops like takeaways or just grab something in local shops, it's gonna be much harder. So, for example, we went to Italy. It was way harder than to get anything vegan, but there was like 1 or 2 shops like miles or kilometers away if I have to pick up something. But obviously, I've been vegan for years, so I know how to cook these dishes. So I just bought the lentils, the beans, the veggies, and I cooked every day. So it was no problem for me. And this is the first thing what I would suggest if you live in a country where veganized products are not available in the stores. Then just you have to learn how to cook these stuffs, and then start from there. So you need to know. You need to dig into nutrition first a little bit. Obviously, you might interested in more than other people who just switch from like a plant-based diet for different reasons, and they just eat it out in restaurants because it's convenient. But if you're digging more into nutrition, then you want to know how to cook this, and you want to know what you eat. So how to do like stews and I don't know, different dishes. And then you just have to buy the beans, the lentils, the peas, get some little protein in it, and then you just support it with greens and fruits. Yeah.
That's what I was doing.
I was in Portugal as well, no?
Yeah, I was living. Well, it's not that bad, but now I think it's much better. To be honest, I've been told that there's this sort of new generational burst of vegan businesses and plant-based, sometimes not 100% vegan, but plant-based, some of them like vegetarian options and stuff, but much more now. When I was living there were options. It was not like I have nothing, but to avoid having a very expensive diet, what I've done is basically I just started cooking vegetables and just buying the whole foods. I was already a very good veggie eater before. I would eat a lot of meat and fish because I lived by the seaside, so we were like a fish town, lots of fresh fish every day. And I used to eat fish and meat every single meal, like lunch and dinner every day, but with veggies always. And usually like veggies and rice and potato, because that's how we do it. So basically I was already kind of used to cook veggies, so I just started exploring it a little bit more. As I've said before in the previous podcasts, I've done a very radical change. So in the first few months it was like I got a lot skinnier. I didn't do like a very good transition, which I don't advise to anyone. It doesn't mean that you cannot stop eating meat very quickly, but you should be doing the right replacements, which I was not. You can't not just put more lettuce or more cabbage and that's it. No, you have to go a little bit deeper than that. And but yeah, I mean, it's really easy, and honestly, if you learn how to do just a few key meals, I really don't love cooking daily as in having the routine of cooking very complex meals, because I have a very busy day usually, and you as well. So I just like to do very simple stuff. Either one of us, usually we just cook very simply. Sometimes we eat raw veggies as well, just a mix of veggies and fruits. If we are more in a rush, or if we want to have a lighter meal and we don't put carbs, we sometimes just do the raw veggies. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it. When I have more patience or a freer day, a less busy day, then I can do like a roast or a proper, like a more sort of, basically sort of a version of a more traditional meal, but vegan style. But yeah, if you learn how to do it yourself, and you can go for just very simple stuff that you can do like in less than half an hour, you have a meal done. Then for me, that's the key. And I really didn't like to cook before. I really didn't like it. And after I turned vegan, I don't mind cooking. As I said, I like to do simple stuff that don't take a lot of my time, but I don't mind cooking. I think I also didn't like to cook the animals themselves. It was always something that always was like sort of an inner conflict. But yeah, I was already being vegan in Portugal, so we didn't have that much options. We had a little section in the supermarkets, the big ones, like equivalent to what here would be like Tesco or Sainsbury's or something like that, and that would be it. And there was a couple of vegetarian restaurants that you could go to, and like one or two maybe like herbalistic or more like nutritious sort of specialized store, but then stuff would be quite expensive. It's something that I would buy once in a while just because.
Yeah, they're very expensive. Yeah, even here it's not like cheap. Like if we have a sale on the like Alpro, like a vegan yogurt, then we just buy a lot, because usually it's like almost £2, right? It's almost £2, like like 500 grams of like a vegan yogurt. Then if it's like a £1 on sale, we just buy a lot, and it's like lasts for a month, and then we wait for another sale. So usually every shop does a sale somewhere.
Yeah.
So sometimes in Sainsbury's, then we buy like 30, so it's good for a month, and it's like the month is over, then maybe Tesco does, or Coop or something. So we just rotate it, because even here it's like still expensive.
Yeah, those things.
So some of the things are expensive, and then if you go to other countries, it's gonna be usually like almost double the price, like like a milk yogurt or milk product. Oat milk, obviously, something is that usually that's the most expensive. Like almond or soy, it's usually cheaper now, but oat is still something it's expensive. So alternatives are always gonna be a little bit more expensive, but usually consume less anyway.
And sometimes we do, for example, if we just want to have milk for, I don't know, maybe for a meal, to cook something, or we rarely eat cereal. We do like oatmeal porridge in the morning, so we do it with water, and then sometimes we put a little bit of yogurt just to make it a bit creamy. But if we want to do it with milk, you can, sometimes I do that, you can just use the food blend. How do you call it? And then just blend it with water and have basically milk. You can put a bit of any sort of sweetener that you'd like.
That's what I was gonna say. So even if you don't have this in your country, then you can do it yourself. Like it requires more effort. Like we were like experimenting with this for a couple months, where we did our own tofu and our own soy milk and oat milk. Oat milk is super easy. I think it's super fast, because we were trying to go like more like less waste.
Package less.
Yeah. So we didn't want to buy more like milk every day, or the tofu. The only thing is we cannot replicate usually if we go like shopping, because we take our packages, so we just refill everything. The only thing we cannot do is the yogurt, the milk, and the tofu, which is coming in package. So we try to reduce that. And then
need a bigger blender.
Yeah, the only thing like it's hard to replicate, we couldn't do it properly, is the yogurt. Like we had like yogurt maker, we tried it in the oven. It takes like so much time, so much effort. It's just way easier to get it in the shop.
Yeah.
And
it's just the time, and then it's always a bit more liquid.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. Like we probably have to have the best culture to always recycle. We couldn't figure out, and it was just too much effort, and it's way less. Like I think at the end it was more expensive than anything, and it was just too much time.
But I'll try it again in summer with different cultures and see if I can find a way to do it.
It's just hard. It's just hard, especially if you eat a lot. Like in the fitness, if you're doing fitness or doing training, you just eat all the time, and it's way harder than just if it's for my grandma or something. You know, she has the time, or and then she doesn't train, and she's like enough with smaller portions and lower calories. But if you eat 3,000 calories a day, then you have to eat a lot. Like I eat a big pot of yogurt every day, and I think you too. So it's just 1 kilo of yogurt every day, and then to make 1 kilo of yogurt it takes 3 days. You just have to recycle all the time, so it's a lot of effort. Oat milk is super easy. You just put the oats in, oats, blend it with water, and you just have to stir it down, and you're done.
Yeah.
It's very easy. Soy, it's more complicated, but you can do more.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's just it takes a bit longer. You have to put the
You need it like
to
a soy
soak
maker, yeah, soak everything. But this is higher in protein, and then you can make tofu out of it. So we were make some, tofu was good.
Was good. It was actually good. The only problem is that I would need a very big soy maker because I had to do like 3 batches of soy milk to actually do a little square of tofu.
And
I was
like 2 tofu every day.
yeah, and I was like, I mean, it was quite good. It was surprisingly good. It was like the shop.
It was like what you buy in a shop.
Yeah, but it took me so long.
So long for a
so
small
much
piece of
effort. Yeah, I cannot do it like. In
But if you
practical
want
terms.
it, you can do it. So if you're determined, you can do it. And obviously, like way easier options. You can have the beans, the lentils, the tofu, beans, lentils, peas, chickpeas.
Yeah.
These are available in every country. You can buy it in a can, or you can buy it in shop. You soak it, you cook it, you get the protein, the carbs, everything what you need. It's super easy, and then you're gonna be healthy and strong. So it will always support your life. So you don't have to go fancy. You can go old school, like you have the beans and lentils, it's everywhere. It's cheap, it's the cheapest food ever, and it's super high in protein and good calories, good carbs, nutrients, vitamins, minerals. You can always find it. So try to, I would say, like you have to try different cuisines, obviously. Like Indian, Asian cuisine, they're usually better with vegetarian food.
Yeah.
So if you look into that side, it's much easier to adjust or transition into vegetarian, vegan, plant-based diet, because they've been cooking those foods for thousands of years. So they're really good in incorporating lentils, for example, peas, rice, these kind of dishes. Very easy. So yeah, that's where I would suggest to go and explore Asian cuisine and how to cook that, and obviously whatever is around you, it's always gonna be the best if you can find a local.
That's true. Yeah.
Local fruits and vegetables, whatever you have products, and then just learn to cook from there. And you can be vegan anywhere. It doesn't have to be like, even we are in Brighton, so it's good to, like, we have easy access to oat milk and I don't know, yogurt and stuff. But other than that, we pretty basically we don't buy like packaged food, like, I don't know, fake meatballs or beef cakes or anything like a burger pate or something. We rarely do it, like once a month sometimes, just to see if it changed or what's new or something. But we don't buy, first of all, because of the package. Second, it's not too healthy. So, and then we don't eat restaurants, we cook every day. So either you or me, we cook. So even if we are in different country, we can, it's not an effort. Yeah, we just do the same. We just cook.
Yeah. And I was lucky in the regards of, or in relation to the place where I live, because Mediterranean diets are usually very rich in vegetables and healthy fats. Like, we use a lot of raw olive oil, for example, and we use a lot of vegetables in our meat. Yeah. That's what we do. We do meat, but then we put a lot of vegetables on top. In our traditional dishes, usually you always see like at least 2-3 vegetables, which is already a very nice base. Yeah. So if you just take out the meat and you put like a couple of extra vegetables and a bean or tofu or something like that, you're gonna be fine for the most part. It's already very varied. So if you live either in Italy, Greece, Portugal, Spain, you're gonna be perfectly fine. That I can say by experience, because I've been plant-based for years now, and I'm only here for 3 years, and so I was most of my plant-based period was spent in Portugal, really. So
you can get anywhere if you get a good. Probably you can get a protein powder everywhere. So if you lack protein or you train, you can always fill that up. Maybe it's not the best, but your taste bud's gonna used to it, and then later on you're gonna see more and more brands are reaching out to everywhere. Like, I've been in Japan, that was the hardest, but I still survived. Brazil was hard as well, but they had pretty, like, fruits and vegetables are awesome.
Very nice fruits.
And only Japan was a little bit tricky, but after like being there for a week, 10 days, you find the meals that these are vegan, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in Brazil as well, I was eating a lot of fruit. A lot. But also because I was in the spring or something, it was very, very nice weather. So Brazil.
Okay.
So eating fruit is perfect. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you. So I hope this helps, guys. And if you have any question, leave it in the comments. And we'll see you in the next episode. Train complete. Train complete.